rerun. Hope you're okay with that. Repetition is the mother of learning. So for those of you who were on yesterday's call, you're going to hear a lot of what you heard the last couple of days. And repetition is the mother of learning. What I would do if I were working on mastering my listing presentation is I would watch these recordings over and over and over again and write out word for word every single part of the listing presentation, and then rewrite it in bullet points, because that's how we talk. We talk in bullet points. And PDR. PDR stands for practice, drill, rehearse, until you've internalized it. Now, the difference between working on something until you get it right and mastering anything is when you get to mastery, you can't get it wrong. Now, if you're going to have surgery, you want to hire somebody who's getting it right, or somebody who can't get it wrong. I want to hire somebody who can't get it wrong. Right? All right. We're recording. We're on Facebook Live, so let's get started. It's 3 questions that every seller is asking themselves when they talk to you. Do you care about me? Can I trust you? And do you know what you're doing? And it's our job to convey that I care about you, you can trust me, and I know what I'm doing. And matter of fact, when you do a great job of conveying that message, you've eliminated the advantage that anyone has on you because they've been in the business longer, they've got a better looking resume, they've sold more homes, you fill in the blank. On your very first listing presentation, you do a great job of conveying that you care about the person you're meeting with, that they can trust you, and that you know what you're doing, and you've got the listing. Yes or yes? Yes. Yeah, of course. All right. So, step 1 to getting a listing presentation, we're going to go way back. Step 1 to mastering your listing presentation is getting the appointments. So if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? You don't need a lot of scripts in order to schedule a listing appointment. That one will do. If I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I can do that? Now, it's a great question because I'm not asking you if you're interested in listing your home. I'm not asking you if you're ready to put your home on the market today. All I'm asking is if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? In other words, Aaron, are you at least curious what I might do that would get your home sold in less than 30 days for the most amount of money? Yeah. You don't have to hire me, but you have absolutely nothing to lose by meeting with me, do you? Not at all. Right. And you don't owe so-and-so anything, and you don't owe me anything, but you do owe yourself the opportunity to hire the best agent for the job. Now, let me just ask you a question. I'm going to put you in harm's way, Ryan. Let me ask you a question. If you decided not to meet with me and you went forward and hired the agent that you're planning on hiring, and 6 months later, your home is still for sale and the market has shifted and now your home is worth less and there's a lot more competition, and you found out that I was the right agent for the job, how would you feel about not meeting with me? Yeah. So do you have anything to lose by at least sitting down with me for 30 minutes to see what I could do to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the least time? Are you at least curious? Yes, cool. Get the appointment. All right. Now, step 2, do a soft interview. I told you we were going way back, even before where we started on Monday. Now, a soft interview is a phone call prior to the appointment. And a soft interview is a series of questions that you're going to ask the homeowner in order to prepare for the listing appointment. In other words, I would call Aaron, and I would tell Aaron, I'm sorry, after I schedule the appointment, Aaron, I need 20 minutes with you on the phone in order to ask you a few questions in order to better prepare for our appointment tomorrow at 4. So I'm going to give you a call later today, or I'm going to call you tomorrow morning. I'm going to schedule a time to do this. I'm not going to have the soft interview right now. Why? Ooh, go ahead. Yeah, okay. Ryan says they want to get you off the phone. That might be true, but I want to get off the phone because it's time to make the next call. I'm in lead generation. Sorry, guys. We have fire trucks or something outside. Yeah. So I want to get off the phone because I'm in lead generation. It's time to make the next call. If I spend 10 minutes with Aaron doing a soft interview right now in the middle of lead generation, then that's 10 minutes that I'm not making more lead generation calls. That might cost me one conversation, and it might cost me one less appointment. So by choosing to have that soft interview right now at the same time that I'm scheduling the appointment, I might also be choosing not to get the next listing appointment. Does that make sense? So I'm going to call Ryan and I'm going to have a soft interview. Simple. How long have you been in your home? Awesome. Tell me what kind of updates you've made to your home in the last 2 to 3 years. Yeah, and just listen to what they say and write everything down. Now, if they tell you, I just planted a new grapefruit tree out back, it's important to them. Write it down. If they tell you that they've got these handmade bookshelves in the living room that are just the best bookshelves ever made in the history of bookshelves, write it down because it's important to them. Even if you know the new homeowner is going to come in and chop those bookshelves down and use it as firewood, write it down. It's important to them. So I'm going to write down everything that they tell me as far as the updates that they've made to their property in the last 2 to 3 years. How many bedrooms does your home have? How many bedrooms does your home have? How many bathrooms does it have? What size garage do you have? Is it a 1-car garage, 2-car garage, 3-car garage? Do you have a pool? How big is the pool? What's the location? In other words, do you back to another home? Do you back to conservation? Do you back to a lake, or do you back to open water? If they're on open water, ask how big of a boat they can put on behind their home. In other words, do they have direct access to the Atlantic Ocean, or do they have any fixed bridges that they need to go under? The other question that I'm going to ask in a soft interview is, have you thought about selling your home by owner? Ask them. I promise you, Jonathan, you're not giving them any ideas. They're not thinking, oh, maybe I should do that. I'm glad he asked. No, they've already thought about it. Ask them. Now, if somebody says yes, cool. Just write it down. This is not a time to talk about why that's not a good idea. However, because you know they thought about it, you're going to proactively overcome that in your listing presentation. Are you meeting with other realtors? Ask. And more than likely, the answer is going to be yes, right, Aaron? Yeah, unless it's a friend of yours or someone that you know well or a past client, and it's a come list me, they're meeting with other real estate agents. If the answer to that question is yes, am I first? Am I the first agent you're meeting with, or do you have any appointments before me? Now, the reason I'm asking that question is because I want to make sure that they don't hire that agent they're meeting with before me and cancel my appointment. I want to make sure that they keep my appointment. Now, 2 ways I'm going to accomplish that goal. Number 1, I'm going to deliver a pre-list package to their home prior to our appointment. Now, I can either do that personally, I can do it digitally, or I can hire a, thank you. I can hire a carrier to deliver it to their home. All right, very good. And you can look on command. There's lots of information on building and creating a really awesome pre-listing package. You can get really fancy with this and deliver it via FedEx with balloons or in a box with gifts. And again, you can get really creative with this. Think outside the box. All right. Now,
What including the previously package?
what would you include? Different class. All right. Now, how much do you owe for your home? What's the payoff? What's your mortgage? Yes.
You said there were 2 things you do.
Oh, number 1, deliver a pre-listing package. And number 2, thank you, Diane. Number 2, I am going to get a verbal commitment that they're not going to hire another agent until they meet with me. In other words, Diane, I understand I'm not first. I understand you have another appointment tomorrow at noon and we're meeting tomorrow at 4. Can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Would you promise me that you will wait until after meeting with me to make a decision?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, believe it or not, that verbal commitment will make a difference. How do I know that? Because I've been on thousands of listing appointments and I've closed and I've heard, John, I'd love to hire you, but I promised so-and-so that I would meet with them before I made a decision. So it does work. Yes, sir.
Can you take that to the next question of if I give you a proper presentation, would you be ready to sign up?
Yeah, so this is an opportunity to trial close. So when we meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock, if I'm able to demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, embedded command, if I'm able to demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, will you be ready to hire me? Yeah, of course. You absolutely could do that. But we're going to do that on the confirmation call as well. All right, so the next step, it's the day of the appointment. I'm going to call you 11 o'clock after lead generation, not during lead generation. And Diane, hey, John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty, following up as promised, just confirming that we're meeting today at 4 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Hey, Diane, by the way, when we get together today at 4 o'clock, if I'm able to demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, are you ready to put your home on the market today? Cool. See you at 4. She said, I'm not sure, by the way, if you couldn't hear. Now, by the way, yes, cool. See you at 4. No, cool. See you at 4 o'clock. I don't know. Cool. See you at 4 o'clock. Now, you don't have to say cool. Whatever word works for you. All right. All right. Next step. Prepare like the #1 local economist of choice. In other words, dig, dig, dig. The more information you get on the market, the better. The more information you get on the homes that have sold in that neighborhood, better. Pull every single property that has sold in that neighborhood in the last 6 months and bring a copy of that. I'm a paper guy. It's coming on paper. Bring a copy of that listing with you in order to be able to show to the seller. This is a property that sold 2 months ago. It's 123 Main Street. It's right around the corner from you. It's blah, blah, blah. Bring every single listing that sold in the last 6 months, whether it's comparable or not. This is the mistake that real estate agents make. They don't bring a property because it's not comparable. The subject property is a 2003 bedroom, 2-bath home. And there's a property that sold around the corner that's 3,500 square foot and it's 5 bedrooms. That's not comparable. So the real estate agent looks at that and goes, well, that's not comparable. I'm not bringing it with me. Problem. You're sitting at the kitchen table and you show them all the properties that have sold in the last 6 months, except the homeowner looks at you and says, what about the home around the corner? You know, John and Betty Smith, they sold their home 2 months ago, and I know they got $600,000 for their home. And all these other properties you're showing us sold for $400 to $450. Why aren't you showing us that one? Well, you don't know the answer to the question because you didn't bring it with you. And you look unprepared. Bring every single comparable with you, whether every single property that sold in the last 6 months, whether it's comparable or not. Now, I'm also going to go in tax records and I'm going to pull a list of all the properties that have sold in the last 6 months. Now, why would I do that? I'm looking for sale by owners that sold in the last 6 months. Because when I'm doing my research in the MLS, I'm not going to find the for sale by owners, but I will in tax records. And you're going to get caught again if you don't do this. They're going to ask you, what about that property around the corner? And your answer is going to be, I have no idea. It didn't come up in my search. Do you know what you're doing? No, you don't, because you don't even know about that property that sold. You guys tracking me? Okay. I'm also going to do an in-depth supply and demand analysis. I'm going to show you how to do that on another call, not today. I'm going to do an in-depth supply and demand analysis on 3 price ranges within a 3-mile radius of the subject property. Why 3 miles? Because that's how buyers buy. Sellers think that buyers are only looking in their neighborhood. That's not true. Buyers are going to look in a 2 to 3 mile radius. So they're going to look at other neighborhoods. So I'm going to do a supply and demand analysis in a 2 to 3 mile radius in 3 different price ranges. Now, if my subject property looks like it's going to be 5 to 550, or if the seller says, by the way, back to the soft interview, one of the questions that I forgot. Hey, Ryan, based on homes that have sold in your neighborhood, what do you feel the value of your home is? Cool. Write it down. The seller said $600,000. Now, at this point, if you're thinking there ain't no way you're getting more than $500,000, the response to $600,000 is not, are you nuts? There ain't no way you're getting $600,000. Yeah, no, don't do that. Okay. So the seller says 600,000. So I'm going to do a supply and demand analysis from 600 to 650. I'm going to do another one from 550 to 6. And I'm going to do another one from $5 to $550,000. Because just because the seller told you 600 doesn't mean that's the price. It can be 550 to 600,000 could be completely the wrong pond to go fishing in. The right pond might be 500 to 550. I don't know. So I'm going to bring the information with me so that we're prepared to look at supply and demand in these 3 different price ranges. Supply and demand simply means how many homes are active. Which finger do I want to put up? How many homes are active? How many homes are currently under contract within that certain price range? And how many have sold in the last 6 months? Now, when you know that, it's just a math equation. And now you can determine we've got inventory of less than 30 days. Hot seller's market. We've got inventory of more than 6 months. It's buyer's market. How we doing? Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. Now, back to the day of the appointment. Call ahead to confirm the appointment. Call when you're on the way and confirm the appointment again. Hey, Gonzalo, John Dietz. Good morning, Gonzalo. Hey, Gonzalo, John Dietz. I am on my way. I should be at your home at 4 p.m. If I run into traffic, I'll give you a call and let you know. Great. All right. Now, arrive at the home early. What is early? I'm going to arrive 10 to 15 minutes before my appointment. I'm going to drive the neighborhood. I'm going to look at the properties that have sold so I can get my eyes on the properties I'm using as my comparables. I'm also looking for sale by owners. Why not? I'm in the neighborhood. I'm going to write down the phone number and the address because I'm going to call them later and talk about the property I just listed. Now, if you arrive 10 to 15 minutes late, don't park in front of the home and sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. That makes you a stalker. That makes you weird. Don't do that. So you do want to knock on the door at 4 p.m. So I am pulling up in front of Diane's home for my 4 p.m. appointment at 3:55. I'm going to get the things out of my car, which includes my backpack with everything that I need, the notebook, the pen, so I can take notes, and my business card. Now I knock on Diane's door. Creepy, right? Yeah. So I knock on Diane's door. Diane said, that's creepy, ring the doorbell. Can I tell you why I knock on the door and I don't ring the doorbell? Because there actually is a reason for this. If I ring the doorbell, there could be a baby sleeping in the back of the house and I just woke up. Now that baby's joining us on the listing appointment. Not so cool. The other reason is, and I got this from Tom Hopkins, so don't hold this against me, guys. I cannot ring the doorbell enthusiastically, but I can knock on the door enthusiastically. Now, I've had people come to the door and say, John, the doorbell works. Cool. I'll write that down because I'm sure I'm going to have a buyer that's going to ask me that. Now, I knock on the door. Diane opens the door. Hi, Diane. John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty. We had an appointment at 4 p.m. and it's 4 p.m. May I come in? Cool. Now, if you just walk in the door, that's called breaking and entering. Don't do that. Wait to be invited into the house. If you don't get invited to the house, ask. Diane, it's 4 p.m. We had an appointment at 4 p.m. May I come in? Great. The moment I walk in the door, step in the door. This is your script. Wow, you have a beautiful home and I'm excited to be here. Before I take one step further, would you like me to take off my shoes? Do you care about me? Can I trust you? Do you know what you're doing? Before I take another step, would you like me to take off my shoes?
Please.
Cool, so my shoes are coming off. Now, if Diane answers the door and she's not wearing shoes, I'm not even asking. I'm just taking my shoes off. Now, remember guys, before you leave the house that morning, don't wear holy socks because they're gonna remember you're the guy with the toe sticking out of his socks. Now, this is my Kodak moment. I have 2 minutes to make a great first impression. I'm gonna dress professional. I am going to greet Diane with a great big smile. When I knock on the door, I'm going to take 2 or 3 steps back. So I'm not standing right in the door when she opens the door. How do you like me so far? And Diane, John Dietz, we had an appointment at 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. May I come in?
Sure.
Awesome. Diane, I'm so excited to be here. Wow, you have a beautiful home. Before I take another step, would you like me to take off my shoes?
Yes, please.
Awesome. So Diane, I'd like to set my things down at the kitchen table. And then I have my notebook and my pen. I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to take lots of notes. And what I would love for you to do is to give me a tour of your home. Actually, what I would love for you to do, Diane, is give me a tour of your home, just like you would if I were a buyer. Now, as we're touring your home, Diane, if you would, please point out all of the updates that you've made to your home in the last 2 or 3 years. And if you don't mind, point out the updates that you would make if you weren't going to sell your house. What would you do next? Now, why am I asking that question?
So you know, like what contributes to the value if something's been upgraded and, you know, because if it's a master bath that's been upgraded, you know right away there's value to that.
Yep.
Diamond Bright was done and
Yep.
impact windows and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, why am I asking them to tell me what they were going to update next if they weren't selling their home? Paige, talk to me.
Oh, because you're having them acknowledge what a buyer's going to think needs to be done.
Yes. So I'm getting the seller. Good job, Paige. You're my new favorite person. So I'm getting the seller to tell me the updates that need to be made to their home versus me walking through the home and saying, fuzzy purple wallpaper. Are you kidding me? That's got to go. This shag carpet looks like you put it in 1970. That's got to go. Now that's an exaggeration. And yes, there are real estate agents who will walk through the property and we need to do this and we need to do this. And that's got to, we need to get rid of that. We need to paint this room and we've got to do this. And the whole time the seller is thinking, they don't like my home. They don't like my home. How can they sell my home if they don't like my home? Like their home, write it down. Like their home, write it down. Now, what if there's nothing to like? wow, this is an amazing house. It's got a ton of opportunity. Now, the opportunity might be to bring a bulldozer and knock it over, but it's opportunity. That's not script. Don't use that. Find something to like their home. Now, if they ask you what they should do in order to make their home show ready, your response to that is, that's a great question. And once you've hired me, I will walk back to your home with you and I will help you stage your property. That's part of the service that I provide. But I'm not going to do it now. That's not script. That's for you guys.
You just read my mind. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah. Now, if they ask you, or if they comment as they're touring the home and you walk into one of the kids' rooms and it's bright pink, and they say, you know, I was thinking I probably need to paint this room. What do you think? Your response, 2 words, hardest script you're ever going to have to internalize. I would. That's it. I would. Now you might hear what color? Something neutral. Another 2-word script. Something neutral. That's it. I've got 928 ahas, questions, comments. Total silence.
John, I have a lot of times people ask me to come, you know, at the first meeting and, you know, walk through the house and tell them what I think they should change. Like they kind of want all of my opinions up front. And I understand why I wouldn't want to do that. Yet I don't know the best way to, how to say it and still be well received by them.
Yeah. So Karen, you can dabble in that. In other words, give them a few pointers, but you can tell them we'll do a much deeper dive into staging your property after you ... hire me.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
I was gonna say, I saw John DiMartino's presentation on YouTube yesterday. Exactly the same. If they want to change something weird, I would.
Good job. I'm proud of John DiMartino. He's doing an amazing job. Yeah, he's a good coach too.
Yeah. I had a listing presentation yesterday.
How did it go?
It went well. It was interesting. But I did exactly that because we walked around the house, which needs a ton of work. And I did, wow, like the home is so beautiful. And when we took the tour, he's like, so I'm thinking about doing that. I said, I would.
Yes.
I would. There's a lot of I woods.
A lot of I would. So I went on an I would listing appointment yesterday.
Exactly.
All right, guys, I've got 9:29. Thank you for the pleasure of your time. I hope you got information that helps you today. I hope you find value in this. And as always, make it a great day. My
All right.
pleasure.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.